Step right left to my beat. I like the moon rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Let me show you 'cause talk is cheap. Step right left to my beat. Get it, let it roll. Smooth like butter.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only WOOKIE, joined here by my lovely compatriots. We got the Smoke Show Drazcore.
Hey,
I got it right this time.
Smoke Show, nice.
The Smoke Show. We have Dr. Sheep.
Yay!
He's a doctor. And then we got Ewok of sheep, which makes him a veterinarian. Strange. And then we have Mr. Ewok of the junior variety.
Hello, Keyforge community. Great to be here tonight.
Who's Ewok Senior? If you're Ewok Junior.
That's my papa.
Oh, okay.
That's you. You're the Wookiee.
Oh, is that how that goes?
Really, aren't Ewoks just baby Wookiees?
Well,
Backing out of the room.
this is big news breaking here right on the show.
Is that how that works? Every Star Wars fan's angry right now.
Yes.
And special guest tonight, we have Lokakar. He's going to run us through some of the fun stuff. I guess maybe Lokakar, why don't you explain what we're doing here today? I think that's the best way to do it.
Oh boy. Well, I would say welcome to our corner of the Crucible. And I don't know, Ewok, you want to lead it off, or should I?
Yeah, I want to do a little bit of intro because I put something together.
Oh no.
I know that we've been building a little bit with some teasing. We've going ahead and putting some information out. We've been in a pandemic, and one of the big questions that popped up for me was, how do you build a community? Okay, we've seen, a local play scene. We need to be able to bring more people out. We need to be able to get people involved. And I think that today's episode really hits home with that. If you listen to the underlying pieces, you look at what Lokakar has been able to do. And I think that there's a couple things that I want to just make sure that we hit on. First of all, consistency. You have been a pillar for the AC community. You have gone ahead and started our sealed, and when you're looking at Wednesday night as being there. Number two, you make it fun and entertaining. And then the third piece is we want to bring something extra. If we want to entice people, it's really, really important that we're going ahead and separating ourselves from other games. I always talk, the community is amazing. But when I leave, it's great to have something in hand, whether that's a deck, whether that's some bits from FFG, whether that's some cardboard. But I think that what you've done tonight is that above and beyond. And so I need to give you that standing recognition because it's your time, it's your energy. And that's why you've grown your Wednesday night to something that's pretty amazing. So I put that out there for anyone else trying to start their community or just ramp it up for this 2022. What do you want to do? Be consistent. Be there every single week. Make it fun and entertaining, and then bring something extra, whether it's decks, prizes, awards. So with that, I will say our first annual ? But 2021 Pink Bunny Games Awards. And this is your baby. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing and how did you set up and what's coming to some of the regulars who play for Pink Bunny Games?
Well, the only thing I'll own of what he just said was that I'm consistent. I don't know if that's out of stubbornnness to a fault or trying to do a good thing. But
I think it's just you continually trying to make me look bad.
Yep.
And doing a fine job of it.
That's a worthy cause.
You make that easy sometimes. That's not on me. But no, I was, like a lot of people when the pandemic started and everything got canceled, it was a bear. It was just totally got me down on Keyforge, and I didn't play for quite a while because I was like, look, I love in-person play. TCO was never really my jam. By being just, again, stubborn, I'd earned enough points to go to a Worlds invite, so I was really down for missing out on that opportunity and all the Vault Tours that got canceled, right? So I spent a lot of time not playing Keyforge, and then I slowly was like, okay, I still like the game, start playing TCO again. And then Sheephead actually started up some events. I think he ran his Gauntlet about, a year ago now, wasn't it? I think it was around the turn of the year last year. And I realized that, you know what, there's still ways to play. There's still ways to be involved. And he started picking up his events, and I realized that they were all good. And he was initially offering leaderboard decks for his events, which was a good incentive. But people are also coming out and having fun. I was like, it's good and all, but it's not what I'm interested in. Or like, I've always been about the glitzy fun stuff, the prizes or other things you can get. And I was like, this shouldn't be too hard, right? Find a store, LJC you can work with, get the prizes, and get set up running an event, right? And middle of the pandemic, of course, April last year, you can't really run in person. So I was like, okay, I'll just set this up as an online thing. So with the backing of Pink Bunny Games here, who graciously lets me purchase the prize kits through them, and then I purchased the decks through them, I can run sealed events Wednesday nights online. And so I either provide the deck or people bring their own, but then I was able to start purchasing prizes. Some of it I've been able to get by sneaky means off of eBay or Reddit posts from other stores that were sadly, completely moving out of Keyforge. But I was able to build up basically a prize wall, and pretty satisfied with it. I've been able to, add most of the organized play kits that they released. Still able to pick up some of them currently through diligence and, again, some cleverness. I've been able to add things to the prize wall people probably didn't think a store could ever get, like Fuzzy Gruins. I was able to get my hands on a 2020 national championship kit, and
Which
add that to my prize wall.
Yeah, that you got your hands
you
on
stole it.
I did not steal it.
No, you had to pay a ridiculous amount of money for it.
It was a lot of money, and that's the other thing that's gone on with this is, of course, if I'm running prizes, then I'm charging a small entry fee, which I can understand is not always what people are after. Actually, a week ago, I had a sub for sheep on a night, and I was like, okay, people, what do you want? And enough people chimed in saying they would rather, earn points towards prizes. And but there were people who said, oh, I'm showing up only because I can earn points. There are other people who were like, nah, I play because it's free on typically that night. So, different people have different incentives. But so I built out a prize wall, and that meant I'm a numbers guy, and I started tracking all sorts of weird stuff and keeping spreadsheets put together and all that fun jazz. And that takes us to basically tonight.
Underline all sorts of stuff there. Like, the spreadsheet takes like a long time to load in my browser.
So, and that's where I was going to say, extremely humble. When we're talking, like, a lot of people find someone brings in some prizes, we keep track. Lokacar, you have detailed accounts of what you have run across the last year. Who's played who's won, what prizes have gone out. But that is just a treasure trove. FFG needs to contact you in order to go ahead and go through this information, because it's extremely valuable to see what people are after, what people are going for prizes. We hinted at that earlier, and we'll get to it later. But you've also gone ahead then and tracked, okay, what houses, what sets, how many decks were open, what's the average? There's some amazing stats that are in here, and a lot of people wouldn't have put the time in. So thank you.
Well, I can tell you, 710 games of Keyforge were played.
Woo.
410 decks were opened brand new and used. So anyone who says the game is dead, it is not dead. People are still playing it. Heck, you can still get a fresh, exciting new experience with Keyforge every time you open up a new deck and play it. I will, on my own little soapbox, I hate it when people just break open displays and play maybe one deck. I opened one display once. It was the worst Keyforge experience I've ever had, because I was like, I now have 11 decks and I don't know what to do with most of them, right? And that's the unfortunate part. But if you open it and play it right away, at least you can say, hey, I got my 10 or whatever many dollars worth of entertainment out of that once.
It does make throwing them in the trash feel better if you've played them once.
So, but yeah, so that's where we got to today, and yeah, it's been a lot of Keyforge. As Ewok said, this is the Archons Corner presents Pink Bunny Games Keyforge Awards for 2021.
We present a lot of things.
Yeah, well, you're hosting it, and you have a much wider audience than I do.
I'm just saying,
so.
we host a lot of things. Jeez.
But picture this. I mean, in this pandemic,
attitudes.
I mean, you're talking about over 400 games that were played, and I think that it's incredible to see. This game is not dead by any way, shape, or form. The absolute opposite. I've seen more people playing online. I know that I will plug for what's happening with Joker's announcement that will be coming a little bit later. Man, the amount of people who've signed up for that and for the teaser, for Vault Keepers is absolutely amazing. So whether you're playing sealed, whether you're into it for a competitive play, there's a lot more for this game, and we just need to be able to get our algorithm back, or the new algorithm, and be able to get back into a real life play. So I said first annual. I'm hoping that it's more, but Lokar, you put something together, and you were kind of teasing that online. Can we actually tell everyone what did you end up making for them? Because that's where that extra, you went above and beyond there.
Well, as I said, I keep track of stuff, right? And I was like, it's all well and good to do all this, but it'd be fun if there was something to celebrate at the end of the year, and to celebrate the players, celebrate what we've done. And I decided that it would be fun to hold kind of an award ceremony. And what's fun with an award ceremony without actual physical awards or prizes? And I like making things, but I'm kind of lazy, so I make things with like 3D printers and that sort of stuff, not so much by hand. And so I went ahead and tallied a bunch of numbers, did some number crunching, and made little medallions, like extra large coins. Sheep has seen what these look like. And on one side it says Pink Bunny Games, and it's got their logo and keyforge 2021. And on the other side, it's the sealed logo for the format sealed, and then what the award is, and then the player.
Wait, hold on. There's a sealed logo?
There is a logo for sealed.
Holy crap.
Yeah, kind of funny all the little things they've made and done for Keyforge that everyone just
the more you
doesn't
know
about
no
or doesn't
was a
see.
sealed. I didn't know there was a sealed like emblem.
Yep, there is. And
weird story. Let's start with the most important one. Who won Podcast of the Year?
Well,
that we're gonna.
I have to say there are two requirements for this. All right, first one is I can't get any of these awards because one, I'm running the show, and for some of them, it when you hear what the award is for, yeah, it'd be like, okay, I'm a shoe-in, right? That's no fun. Not here to toot my own horn, and boy is not wanting to load the picture at the moment. But so they, I don't know. What do you think, Ewok? Any particular order we should start announcing these in or not?
And I have this here. The second requirement was that people needed to attend at least 10 events. So you're looking at being able to reward those who are consistent, and your regulars who are coming out. And that's a real issue when you're playing a game is, okay, the person who's grinding day in, day out, there was leaderboards. Okay, we can go ahead and aim for that. What's happening for that fellowship, for someone who maybe isn't always winning? And that's why I really liked these awards. People had no idea that they're coming out ahead of time. And I think that they're something fun. So I'm really sad, actually, that I missed our Midwest Championship. And I heard they had a really sweet trophy that was there. So that's what I'm picturing with these medallions, is that it's something special and unique that no one else is going to get. So I'm excited. I say that we go ahead and run through the easy ones first. You did a low and high SAS, just literally who opened, and then you have some more interesting ones. So I say we run through high and low for each set and announce those, and then we kind of run on.
And those listening live, I posted a picture of what one side of these medallions looks like. When they're done, I found out today, to my chagrin, I need a much finer point paintbrush to finish them all. But yeah, starting with Archon, or Call of the Archons, right? First set, been out for a while. So, winner of Call of the Strong for the deck Rarefast, the Cleric of Business, goes to Anxious Pirates.
Yeah,
We opened up the highest SAS deck, or SAS Coda deck for the 41 events we ran last year. And that's the other thing I should have pointed out, is that there were 41 events, so you only had to attend a quarter of those to qualify. So.
Yeah. And he opened the highest SAS and went 0-4. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm just saying.
No, but you will actually see some fun things there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. So he went 3-1 that night, and the SAS of this deck is a 76.
Okay.
76 Coda. Oh, look at this. The expected Ember is 9.8 on Rarefest, the Cleric of Business. That is interesting.
And what is the what's the almighty? Doesn't matter how much
Yeah.
ember you make. How much matters how much ember you steal. That was
8.3.
that's Coda.
8.3.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
middle
I
of
mean,
the
it's
road.
Brobnar Dis Logos deck. So this is, I don't know if any of this is actually stealing. I think it's Bat Drone. There's a Bat Drone in here.
No, bat drone.
Exactly.
So what's interesting to me is when I think of high Coda SAS, that is not the setup that I'm
No.
picturing. And so I
No.
think that's really interesting that out of all the decks, that's what we're seeing. I mean, because you have this vision of, Untamed and Coda Rush, and yet that's what ended up going ahead and being our high SAS. So congrats, Anxious.
All right, who pulled the weakest Coda?
There you go. Call of the week.
Nobody cares
Right.
about the high SAS Coda.
This
We wanna know the
player
low.
pulled Exilitz, the bug-eyed web alien.
Sweet name, by the way. Absolutely sweet name.
Sweet name, but as we've learned with Keyforge, the better the name, the worse,
the deck.
And so Call of the Week goes to Rexter.
Yay, Rickster!
This
We
is
love
a
Rickster,
57 Coda Mars Shadows Untamed deck with triple phosphorus stars just to make it extra poopy. Some Martian hounds in there. Some real treasures.
Yeah, he probably didn't realize we weren't playing reversal that night, when he pulled this one. So
It does have more expected Ember than the last one. This has 13 expected Ember.
Yeah, and that's all we got.
Yeah.
So our second, but our second set, and again, I think we can run through these pretty quick. We have
Yeah.
AOA, so high SAS.
What
Okay,
I'll
go ahead.
also add is for those who win the low SAS award, because pretty much across the board that meant they had a very bad night. They do earn 5 extra bunny points to go with the medallion whenever they have me ship their decks or prizes. So,
Ooh.
so something to sweeten the pot. If you got a high SAS deck, like you already heard, it's generally they had a pretty good night anyway. So no need to do win more. So
All right. So
all right.
who
So
got
for
our
Strength
high
of
AOA?
Ascension, what's the deck? Howlmet, the Goblin of the Castle. And ironically enough, the same player also got the weakest deck, or the lowest SAS deck, so got the Humble Ascension Award for Pendragon the Langley Beweaponed. So
I just
the
want
winner
to say Howlmet has 23 expected Ember. Triple ZXY researcher.
4 of them.
Quad. I'm sorry. Yeah, quad with
Yeah.
triple lab work.
I like this. Double Archimedes, Desania. This is looking pretty good here.
Speed
No-
of 10.
Notice that you guys didn't say that about the high SAS for Coda, but yet AOA high SAS, you guys are
Because
lighting up like
AOA
Christmas here.
is good.
Shut up, Dan. AOA is not good.
Whatever. Those cards are more interesting than anything that came in Coda.
Nobody said that AOA wasn't more interesting. AOA is definitely more interesting. It's just not as good.
But you gotta. What was the SAS on Howlmet?
Howlmet is a 72.
Plus 10 because it's AOA, so it's like an 83.
That's not
It's
true.
just better.
It's none of that's true.
Is that how
All
plus 10 works?
So enough suspense. Winner of both Strength of Ascension and Humble Ascension is Custodian.
Yeah.
Congrats, Custodian. Woo!
All right.
Let's look at the poop deck, though.
I want to look at the poop deck. Pendragon, the largely beweaponed?
Weaponed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're talking about you. The so it's a 51.
As I was say, there
AOA
can't be
deck.
more than one Pendragon. Of course, there are multiple.
Mhm.
It's just not my luck.
1 Ember control, just like
Ooh.
any good.
That sounds like
sealed
many
AOA deck.
AOA decks. Yep.
10 expected Ember.
Mhm.
So between those two, you're already in great shape.
Uh-huh. You're in real good
Um,
shape.
Yeah, what does it have over here? It's got a couple of flexes. It's got a lollop. That's a thing. You can do that.
No.
It's half the Ember in the deck right there.
This deck's poop.
Yeah, it's not much here.
This deck's garbage. I mean, what do you...
And that's where you move on.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
move on.
All right. so
Highest
you're-
and lowest
you're-
for Worlds Collide.
So Worlds Collide, for winning Infernus's Collide, the highest SAS deck pulled is Hyperthesis, the Unselfish Utopia Ruffian.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah.
So, and this deck is Dis Logo Sensarian for Worlds Collide. And the first piece that immediately jumps out, double Ludo, Cincy Rex, Golden Spiral, Six Semper, Exile, Tribune Pompitus, and Scudum. It's interesting. It doesn't have a ton of Saurian creatures. It's got Brutodon, Cincy, double Ludo, and Pompitus. So that's really interesting. On the Dis side, just a couple cards, for removal, Draining Touch, 3 Fates. Then you have E to just get rid of it, and a lovely card, Collar of Subordination. I love that. And then Logos, just to move things along, you're looking at IG, Tau, Double Wormhole, Memory Chip, Gizmo, Daughter, Igor. So
This deck doesn't look like much to be an 82.
Are you sure you're not going to play the Gizmo, though?
The Dis looks good.
No.
The Saurian looks, it looks all right. I'm not totally excited about the Saurian, weirdly enough. Is it the lowest sass in the deck? It is. But the logo, besides the ID, I don't know what I'm all excited about here. Dr. Millie? Not really.
Well, you have to remember that a Cincinnatus Rex deck in sealed with Golden Spiral is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yep.
true.
You're going to have a good night with that combo in sealed.
Yeah, you can memory chip all your Dis stuff and then get a huge E turn. You got a bit of everything, right? You got Amber control, creature control, artifact control. You got speed. You just got a bit of everything. Looks good. It's a good seal pull.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right.
So
I
winner is Heimergraph. One
Woo!
Infernus's Collide.
Yay.
congratulations.
And so for the World's Brobnar Award
I just realized that. Yeah. Go for it.
is Hajorta, the Merchant of Coruscating Tower. Of the Coruscating Tower.
What's sad
48.
is looking at this deck, like, it's missing a piece in every house. It's got double NARP, though. I don't know how you lost.
Ooh, double NARP.
Double NARP, you should have won.
Well, it's got the most amazing leader, the Colt Stonefather.
I'm not going to lie, I totally forgot Brobnar even had a leader.
Yeah, it's very forgettable.
That is not how memorable he is.
The Brobnar house has 13 SAS contributing points across the 12 cards in the deck, in the house of the deck. It's pretty rough.
Honestly, like, 15 expected Ember, 5 Ember control. All right. I don't think it has
No
any
speed.
real...
Limited creature control.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it does have a Legacy Drumble. That's
That was the highlight right there.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy Drumble.
Mm-hmm.
But a
And I
Legacy Drumble doesn't make up for double NARPs and
No,
the rest
no.
of it.
No,
It makes
but,
the deck very interesting and cool collector piece, but oof.
but again, you look at this as 48 SAS. This still isn't even reversal worthy, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, well, it has too many creatures.
but that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Too many creatures, too much Ember, too much Ember control.
Well,
It's not
congratulations.
reversal-worthy.
Congratulations. Let's
So winner of Worlds of Brobnar is Lady Red.
Yay!
Moving on to MM, so the winner of Mutants of Strength is the deck Mustle, the Madman of Tales. Pretty sure the owner of that recognized that name.
Why is it good?
Oh,
I
he was
mean,
excited.
It looks pretty
He was
good.
very
Just the
excited.
class hair.
It's saucy. It's
It's an
saucy.
87.
Is that the highest SAS deck opened out of all the sets?
I'm pretty sure it
I'm
is.
pretty
Yes.
sure it is.
Yeah, I think it is. 87 Mass Mutation, Dis Logos Untamed. There's some spice in here for sure.
Oh yeah, it's got an Infernus.
It's got Enhanced Infernus.
Enhanced Infernus. Lost
Gateway
in the
Grim Reminder.
Woods. Let's see. It's got Harbinger shenanigans. Not only does it have Harbinger shenanigans, it's got Resurgence, so you can go get your more Harbinger shenanigans. Yeah, this deck's probably a little gross.
Yeah, you've got your autoencoder, you've got your Redacted, you've got your Professor Torado with
It's
10
got
mutants.
Effervescent.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, this deck's got some spice for sure.
Discombobulator. It's got a bit of everything.
Yeah.
So the winner of Mutants of Strength goes to our very own Dr. Sheep.
Dr. Sheep.
Ooh. Oh, yay!
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
And I tell you what, this keeps showing up in my list of decks I own, and I keep going, where the hell did this deck come from? And why does it have a record? And I like, until I saw this, I was like,
So that was the second deck that I opened for Sheep during Sealed when he had me open a deck for him. So
At
it was
least-
the second time we ran an event, and I opened it for him. And that's the funny thing about this, right? A lot of these decks, I open up, right? I have the opportunity to actually look at them or see them or handle them. And so many of them go out the door, and some I'm excited for, and some I'm not. MM has the elusive hunt that I still haven't opened up a gigantic creature for myself. I've opened up plenty for other people at this point, but still none
That's
for myself.
bananas to me.
That is bananas because that's all I could open the first couple boxes, and everyone was saying, "Oh, I don't have any." I do have the elusive double giant too, which is fun. But man, no giant for you. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's the thing. So moving on to mass garbage. I think that's probably one of Sheep's favorite sayings. Goes to the deck.
Dan, we're getting
Spindle,
some
the
echo
intermittently
from you,
grim.
Dan, we're getting some echo from you. I don't know what you got going on over there. Dan?
yeah, I'm here.
I'm getting some echo.
I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Keep going, local car. Never mind.
All right. So if you didn't hear it, Spindle, the intermittently grim, wins mass garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
so-
I don't know. Like, you look
This
at the deck and it's one of
65
those
was the
ones where you're
lowest?
like, maybe?
That's
Yeah,
the
it doesn't-
lowest MM.
65?
See, that surprised me. I've opened much worse MM for Sheep on Tuesday events. This is crazy to me. Saurian Shadow Star Alliance. I don't know. We got Exile, Axiom, Humble, Spoils, Imperial Road, Shrix, Octavia, Faust.
This is one of those, like, looks like it should be
Yeah.
something.
Lights Out, Double Tempting Offer, Double Bow, Rad Penny, Double Subtle Auto. Star Alliance has Hadron, General Order 24, Kirby, and Triple Access Denied, Blast Shielding. 15 Printed Amber. I don't know. That one
20
shocks me.
22 expected, 11 Ember Control, which
Control.
I'm going to guess a lot of it comes from the Faust and the pennies. Yeah, it comes from the Faust and the pennies. I don't know. Weird deck. Maybe you just need to figure out its intricacies like DT. Anyways, moving on to DT.
Oh, no. The winner.
Oh,
the
yeah,
winner
sorry.
of
We
mass
didn't announce the winner.
garbage. The winner of mass garbage goes to Rickster.
Rick, yeah. Oh, he got. Oh, no, sorry. Yay. Rick, you got the lowest coda and you got the lowest MM.
You're
Like
not
the-
really, no?
Don't ask who opens those decks for Rickster, all right?
You got some pull there, sir.
The two best sets you could be well, okay, so top three, two of the best sets you could be pulling from, and you just got junk.
Well,
Oh,
it's somewhat-
that hurts so bad.
It does hurt, but someone's got to open it, so it's okay.
Yep.
I think
And,
over there, they're still living the help from future self lifestyle and hasn't embraced the AC lifestyle, which includes draw better and open better.
Yep. Yep. Open better is a thing. All
boy.
right. So
Moving on to Dark Tidings.
Into DT.
So, winner of Dark Tsunami with the deck Baron Ulisha K. Tassev.
Pop this guy.
This is
Hold on.
This is way better than anything I've ever got out of Dark Tidings.
I'm still
The
trying to
link
find
is,
it.
the link is. Hold on.
So-
I must
so you're-
manually
you-
search for this.
yeah. You're looking for Logos Unfathomable Untamed.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Some really interesting. You got Zenzi that's there that's jumping out. You got Edai, Theory of Conjecture, Hydra Cataloger, BDQ, Eureka. I think the Unfathomable is what really jumps out. Double Maelstrom.
Yeah, I
you
thought the
said-
Unfathomable looked questionable because it's got them triple Garbo creature.
Correct. With the Maelstrom, but you have the ability to either fight then and then play the Maelstrom, or just to discard them too. So, and then the Untamed is where it's at. This is your Pester Grove, man. This is your Pester Grove.
Pester
Wookie.
Grove
There you go.
and Fangtooth Cavern. Best cards in the game. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. Still.
Yeah, no, the Untamed looks real good.
Yeah.
Got the Gruins, Double Witch of the Dawn.
I mean, so it does have Fangtooth
Uh-huh.
and Key Frog and Double Witch of the Dawn. So
You got
that's
it.
triple Key Frogs right there that pretty much should go off.
I like
Plus infighting to trigger a mid-turn. So if you somehow use your 17 Amber to really burst, you can infighting to kill your
Don't
Key
forget,
Frog.
there's a
Witch of the
Deepwater
Dawn,
Druid.
bring it back, play it again. Yeah, plus a Chelonia. So there's definitely potential for a bunch of Amber on a turn there.
Well, not only that, don't forget, there's a Key Frog, but there's a Deepwater Druid in here with Double Witch of the Dawns.
Yeah, with a Key Frog, so you might be able to spend that Amber before they even get it. I actually think the Unfathomable is going to be what lets this deck down.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Unless maybe, like you do that if you get to go Chelonia, creature, and then the next turn you manage to like discard your whole hand and play Maelstrom and just put all your guys back on your deck to do it again. That could be cool.
You're living in Christmas land there, sheep.
I like Christmas.
Christmas land.
You're living in Christmas land, man. That's a very, like, I don't even want another percentage of that actually happening because it can't be very high. Just saying.
Guaranteed to happen against me in any tournament.
Probably. Anyways. That's the highest. How low was the low for DT?
Well, before we move on to the lowest,
we gotta
deck
tell
was
who won.
pulled by Rickster as well. So he pulled the highest SAS deck out of DT and the lowest SAS decks out of Call the Archons and MM.
It's on the tails. It's going for those tails, Rickster. I like it.
Yes.
All right, so for low tidings, the lowest SAS deck out of DT, we have the deck Fiendishly Taup Guo.
Nice little Sanctum Saurian Shadow stack here. 60 SAS. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yep, there it is.
We got some cards.
There is cards here.
Great radio,
Yep.
guys. Great radio
Yeah,
today.
I mean,
There's a Joya. There's a Barristan Joya. There's one good card in this deck. I mean, there's some horn swoggles. You know, for when
Yeah,
you really got to
there's-
swoggle that horn. You
No.
got two of them.
we got two one-eyed Willis.
I have to actually say, first or last is a great card. I really, really enjoy that Sanctum card. So choose one, purge each creature with the highest power, purge each creature with the lowest power. That can do quite a bit of work. So
You're never choosing the first one in this deck. Ever.
Yeah, there's a lot of
in this individual
not.
deck, yeah.
Actually,
but,
you might not even be choosing the first one.
but I think what's often missed for that card and why it stands out to me is that you get to determine the order. So if my opponent has placed that first turn creature, okay, there's a dust switch. Bump. Here's an immediate response. It's gone. It's removed and it's purged. Or I start my turn and I can see what's out on the board before I play a single creature. And that's extremely
it's so
powerful.
sad. It's got a Larry. It's
Yeah.
so sad. So sad.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's got some cards, but unfortunately,
I like
that
Larry.
Saurian. I like DT Saurian, but man, this just makes me sad.
All right.
This-
Who was the
this is the bad name.
unfortunate person
Oh.
that got this deck?
The unfortunate person that picked up this deck is actually a local, by my standards, maybe not the other three here who are in Wisconsin, but it's Texans. And actually, I saw him in person on Wednesday. So,
Oh, nice.
Not actually a Texan, or is he a Texan just transplanted?
a Texans fan. I don't know how long he's lived in the Chicago area, but
Oh, living in the Illinois.
yep.
I gotcha.
The Ills.
The Ills.
That's what they say, right?
That's
Probably
I
not.
don't do they.
Not around here. They call it Chicagoland.
Almost certainly not.
Chicagoland, yeah.
And sometimes they want to include Milwaukee in that, and we get a little testy about it. But
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the highest and lowest SAS.
Yep. Now moving on to fun ones.
Pulled a high one, and there are no refunds for those of you who pulled the short sticks. So, sorry.
Just the consolation bonus. So,
yeah.
All right. So moving on to the deck with the most enhancements. Right. Ooh. There's a lot of played. Which deck pulled the most enhancements? That goes to Robson Tornado Barão do Costello. So if you couldn't tell from the name, it's obviously a foreign language deck, Portuguese.
Wait, where did you get Portuguese decks?
That'll come clear in a moment.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so what is this now? This 16. Is the decks with the most enhancements in it.
Most enhancements.
16.
Which was interesting. Because as I was looking through this, there are a lot of decks with like 7 to 10, 11 to 12 was kind of common, but not so common. But there's a lot in that group. So I was actually I was expecting a deck with maybe close to 20 enhancements for being the most enhanced deck that was pulled.
I'll be honest, the 16 enhancements actually seemed a little bit on the light side for me when you're just looking at what was the most enhancements. Out of this, you have 2 amber, 4 capture, and 10 damage. So I think that really shows how powerful some of those, when your draw enhancements can, when you have 20 enhancements that are coming from all of them, and you're sitting with 6, 8 in draw or in capture.
What probably would surprise people is there's no Star Alliance left, like a Mutagenesis Researcher. There's no Saurians, so it's a Disc Shadows Untamed deck, 76 SAS. But yeah, like Splinter plus 1 Mutant Cut Purse is what? 9 damage pips right there. So
yeah.
And then throwing the Miasma Bomb, and there you go. Your Shadows is providing all 10 damage.
Oh. So actually, what's cool? So there is an enhanced Keyfrog in here. And there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enhanced untamed cards. So you can almost certainly, we don't know where the pips are, like hasn't been uploaded here, but you can almost certainly kill your Keyfrog out of hand, which is pretty fun.
It has a piss smear.
Yeah. You got the Song of the Wild, so you can leverage that. You got a Lodon, you can leverage that.
How come I can't see how this deck did?
Let me refresh it.
It went 3 and 1.
Oh, are you guys on the Master Vault?
No.
If the player themselves hasn't pinged on, so here's a fun factoid on decks of Keyforge.
Oh, there it is.
If someone doesn't click refresh the Master Vault record, it won't automatically pull that just because of how many decks there are. Nova doesn't want it to have always automatically scraping to update every deck that's been pulled. So
makes sense.
If your decks are missing official play records, then you refresh it and the little 3 dots down the bottom of the card for the deck. There's a whole bunch of things, including one of them is refresh MV wins. You click that, then you have to refresh the page, and then I'll update the record.
Interesting.
So what you're saying is that if I take this to a Chainbound event and do extremely poor, then I just don't refresh it, and I say, oh, look, this great SAS deck that everyone should buy. That's what I'm hearing.
No comments.
Tips from Ewok, no comments. Folks.
How to sell a deck.
No, I always find it interesting when I'm looking at eBay or Facebook or the buy-sell marketplace and people list, oh, this is what the record is. And so they're using that information. But again, it can be distorted. So look at the deck, know what you're looking at. And sometimes it's just not the person's play style. So someone can go literally 0-3. We'll see that a little bit later. With a great deck, and it just isn't going to be the play style for that person. So look the cards over. You got to play your decks.
All right. Who's taking home this beauty?
One goes to Enhance, being the name of the award, goes to Greasy. And Greasy is a Brazilian player that was playing with us this summer.
Yeah. Congratulations, Greasy.
Yep. So that explains the Portuguese deck.
Got it. Roger that.
All right. So the next deck, or the next winner, some of these now moving on are going to be more for what players have achieved as opposed to just decks. So the Loyalist Award goes to the player who's attended the most events, and I can't count. Because obviously I'm there every week.
I was gonna say, should that number
I
be
was saying
higher?
you
Is
can't
that
count,
what it is?
therefore you don't know who wins.
No, well, I've got
do numerically
spreadsheets to do
high.
my counting for me, so that helps.
Perfect.
So who's the most loyal keyforger out there?
The loyalist.
So the player who showed up to every event but one last year goes to Rickster.
Rick!
Yay,
Rickster!
Rickster!
Taking home all these awards, man.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know it
Going
was a
home with some
Rickster.
hardware.
Not to
Rolling
spoil anything, but that's the 4 that Rickster walks home with.
Aw.
Loyalist also did come with bunny points attached, so he'll be walking home not only with 4 awards, but 15 extra bunny points.
Nice.
So, congrats, Rickster.
Rick, you need to wear
a
these
great
all
guy.
at the same time.
He's a really great guy. He's always there. He's always in a pretty good mood, even when things are challenging for him. Always fun to play with.
Well,
Always
they're
interesting to play with. So,
stripping the wall away from the outside of his apartment.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
All right, moving on to Lady Luck's favorite. So this player has been blessed by Lady Luck to have the highest SAS average. So I also track the SAS average of every player. So it just tallies up all their decks and takes the average of it. And this player's SAS average is actually significantly higher than everyone else. Most people who've played for an extended period of time, their SAS average settles somewhere in the 60s, maybe to high 60s, like 67. But a lot of people's otherwise is in like the mid 60s. This player is a SAS average of 72.
Ooh. That is just incredible. I need to have this luck when I go to VTs in this return.
Hey,
This is amazing.
this person is a average Coda deck.
What I would tell you is that this person's never played a Coda deck. On
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Mm.
So I think that could also have a little bit of an impact. This person only has ever played MM. Also, only ever opens their own decks. But I don't find that fishy because
on
Suspicious.
stream.
No.
I will say I ask everyone to open their deck live on camera, and this person always does. Nothing ever looks fishy.
Very good at the sleight of hand.
And no
Very, very good.
DT, so definitely nothing fishy going on here.
If you don't get caught, it's legal.
but a little unfathomable.
Yep. So
if you don't get caught, it's legal. You mean like that one time you definitely 100% brought an Archon deck to a sealed event? Because you 1,000% did. But anyways, continue.
So the winner of Lady Luck's favorite goes to Critnado.
Yay! Tornado. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him win this one. He had some real bad luck with MM to start with, but I will tell you, the last couple of boxes of his, look, if all of his most recent decks have come from the same box, I want to buy boxes where he's getting boxes because it's
Spiciness.
It's mostly 70s plus, and sealed. That can generally mean a good night unless you hit a whole bunch of silver bullets. I mean, that's one of the reasons I enjoy sealed. Sometimes you have a great deck and you know it's a great deck, and then you just run into that deck or two that just have all the right answers. So
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, hey, next time you know who to sit next to and to touch all your decks next time you're at a sealed vault tour.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever that is, just be like, hey, can you just touch these? Maybe breathe on them just a little bit.
Critnado also
like
comes
corner.
from the Luxury Playstyles group. They're not a sponsor or anything, but they do make great tokens, and it's
They
fun
could
to
be.
have him.
They could be.
It's fun to have him come play and hear how that company's doing. So they've been a supporter of Keyforge since very early on, supporting Team SAS and that. So glad to have one of them out playing with us.
All right.
So
Who
moving on
had
to
the lowest average?
Yeah, so the lowest average is the award Scorned by Lady Luck. And Scorned by Lady Luck goes to Pirates. His SAS average is 62.
Weird.
Yay,
I wonder what
pirate.
set he opened most of.
You know what? I don't have that handy, but I can sure make it handy real fast.
DT.
Actually,
No, he
probably
doesn't
not.
play DT much.
What? Isn't this the guy that was going to die on the hill for DT? And he doesn't play DT
I think he
much?
just wanted to argue with you. I think
I mean, hey, I'm used to
I'm
that
in
by
for
now.
just arguing. Yep.
I mean, whatever. I'm down.
All right, so his polls have been 6 DT decks, 5 AOA decks, 1 Coda, 2 Worlds Collide, and 3 MM.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
was picked mostly from sets with crummy average
Right.
stats.
So he picked mostly from.
Average
Right.
stats.
So he picked mostly from. You said 6 DT, right?
I think the 5 AOA probably have a bigger impact.
Again, this is where AOA, it's gonna have that low SAS. You can go low or high.
Well, and it's also that sometimes it's low SAS, but it does play well. So
We
his
have
record isn't bad. So
some other interesting stats here coming up that talk about how SAS and wins don't necessarily mean anything.
Lies.
Oh, this
Lies.
is exactly the area that I am excited about. Yes.
So,
this is what
so
jumped
for
out.
the ward, ain't that sassy? Oh wait, did we say? Yeah, we said it was pirate. All right, so the ain't that sassy award. So the player with the most wins with a SAS below 60 for that deck, for the decks they played during events, goes to JF.
Yay!
So he's won 12 times with decks that have a less than 60 for a SAS.
Good.
JF also is another player who loves MM and hates Sanctum, but he has the most wins with sub 60 SAS decks.
What you're saying is that like JF is possibly a very good player.
Oh, there's
He's
no
very
possibly about that.
He just went
Undefeated,
I think
right, in the ABR?
undefeated in ABR, both in regular season and the playoffs. So he's very good. Very, very
Excellent player.
good.
Yep.
He and Joker will fight to the death about how Sanctum is, but you know that's how things go. So
Sanctum sucks. Anyways, moving on.
So for the ward, SAS ain't all that, or in other words, the most losses with a SAS 75 plus deck goes to Critnado.
Oof.
He's lucky, but that doesn't always mean it's actually a good deck or a good night for
What
you.
is he playing? He's playing MM, and high SAS doesn't equal wins.
That's correct.
Yep, got to draw better sometimes.
All right, moving on to the flex. The flex is the award given to the player who had a perfect record, in this case, with the lowest SAS deck to have a perfect record. And that goes to Joker for playing the deck Harley, Beck Cardine, Private First Class.
I thought this was very, very interesting. 52 SAS AOA deck with some Mars Shadows Untamed. But going the best with this, this is a very, very interesting deck from what was here. There's some things that you're just like, okay, how did you win with this? Triple Bad Penny, but you do have
these were his opponents for that night. Just so that people don't think he had.
You were about to say just to be fair.
Well,
you said just to be fair.
I think that it's important to be able to.
So here's the context, right?
It's sealed. Yeah.
It's sealed. So here's his opponents. Round 1, he played Heimergraph, who ended the night 2-2. Heimergraph played Jardum, the Walker of the Street. It's a 66 SAS deck with just Star Alliance Untamed.
Okay,
so 16 expected Amber, 3 Amber control. Right, it's middling Worlds Collide deck. Round 2, he played against Jupiter. Jupiter went 1-3 and played Osteocurve, Finnegan, Duke. It's a DT deck, Logos, Sanctum, Unfathomable, 62 SAS, 8 Amber control, 8.6 expected Amber. So kind of a weak DT deck, but still, according to SAS, it should be a step above the 52. Round 3, though, he played against Pirates. Pirate went 3-1, so this deck gave Pirate his only loss of the night. And Pirate played Rarefast, the Clerk of Business. And that's a 76 SAS Coda deck with Brobnar Disc Logos.
Oh,
okay, so this all sounds fair because we know AOA is so disliked by SAS, it gets plus 10 to equal it out, and Coda is overvalued by about 5. So, yeah, it all makes sense to me.
None of that.
But take a peek at round 4 then. So
round 4, his opponent was Custodian, who also went 3-1. So he started out the night versus middling decks, if you want to say that, but he definitely ended the night against 2 people who gave them their only loss. And a Custodian played Ingvar, Redline Corporal. It's a Worlds Collide 74 SAS Disc Logos Shadows deck with 9.6 Amber control and 22 expected Amber, 3 Artifact control even.
And this deck that he's playing again was 52 SAS AOA.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at it, yeah, it's got the 2 key cheats and key charge and Chota. Does have soldiers to flowers, but you have Marmal Swarm, Grove Keeper, Double Fang House, Chota.
Dude, this deck's horrible. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
This deck's
that's what
garbage.
I'm like. I'm
Oh,
trying
okay.
to be able to find.
I'm like, I thought you were
got the
trying to justify this deck. I'm like,
No,
this deck's
no.
straight garbage. You
So,
have
if
you have
anything,
the
we're trying to
common cold with a Mars house.
Yeah, so
Oh, I guess that's you may destroy all Mars creatures. I thought you had to,
but to get the win with this, yeah.
Rigged lottery, maybe you just discarded all 3 bad pennies.
actually, the Untamed house isn't as horrible as it, because it does say it's got
No,
the
Untamed, I
common
think-
cold plus save the pack, so you do have a very slow board wipe. Life Web's a very viable card nowadays, where it wasn't back in Coda. It was not as live as it is today.
I would say that this is a testament to Joker's skill more than anything, because
You
this
got,
deck is
you got Common Cold, Throwing Stars, double Mars Needs Amber. You got a Beam Buckler into Mars Needs Amber. The Amber control in this deck is going to play higher than 5, significantly higher than 5. 3 bad pennies with Throwing Stars is just free money. Merkins, you never know what kind of power you get off of a Merkins. Key Charge and Soldiers to Flowers is just like free key, then half your deck's missing because you got rid of all those junky cards. Because it is Untamed in AoA, which is junk, for sure. But I can see this deck seems plenty good. Not great, plenty good.
and
Plenty
when he
good.
played it, it was a 51 SAS. So SAS decided it was slightly Dex of Keyforge decided it was slightly better than it initially thought.
Bumped it up a bit.
all right, who had the?
By the way, can I just say
No.
it is great.
Moving on.
Well, I'm going to. It is crazy to me that you could just be like, hold on a second, let me tell you who he played with what decks and what those, like, you had all that information in this document, like, ready to rock and roll. That is just bonkers to me.
I think
that
Sheep's
is
putting his headphones down by his
good
microphone.
bookkeeping.
Yep, that's what I'm
it's-
doing.
That's
SAS or not SAS. Gem does have everything stored in the background. So if you save your files,
I see.
you can go back and really load old events and see pairings. People have asked me to see actual pairings between sets and players, and I'm like, I could do that, but that becomes a whole database, and that's a lot of work, and I'm not that interested in trying
We
to
have
set it up
these
in
kind of
detail,
awards,
but-
but yet that kind of working there.
it's my show, right? I need to have
Right.
just as much interest in wanting to do it as
Totally.
the amount of work
Totally.
it's going to take, right?
All right, let's hear some more stats and cool stuff.
Mhm.
All right, so for highest SAS going 0-3 or 0-4, so it had to be at least 0-3 or worse. For the SASWA award is for the deck. They play the deck They Who Reports on Shadowton, and this goes to Jupiter.
Mm.
Yeah. Jupiter.
It's your
Yay.
fault. You're the one who caused him to leave us.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That is the reason he left Keyforge.
Yep, he played a 72 SAS Logo Star Alliance Untamed deck that night, and it just
That sounds kind of spicy.
I mean, it's got
Couldn't
no
get it to go
creature
anywhere.
control.
DT.
Oh, is that the problem? No creature control?
Yeah, it's got
Very little.
4.1, and it's relying on an anomaly exploiter for the highest number of
Yep.
those, with very little ways to get damage on anything.
Oh.
And Zap.
Yeah,
the DT deck with double Mookling, though. I mean, it's got a fair amount of Amber control, but yeah, if your opponent gets a board, you're going to
speed.
be
Yeah, so it.
hurting.
Yeah, like it
Yeah,
is
you
going to
need
be
to
very
discard.
matchup dependent.
I mean, when
very
it's-
matchup dependent.
When its best power creature is a Flumph, that's a problem. Not highest power, but like when you look at effective power, Flumph is the king of this thing's hill.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bunch of little snot creatures that are going to get their faces kicked in.
It does have an interesting combo you don't often think of, which is Diplomat Agung with Zap. Because even if they have 3 different houses on the board, and you have 3 different houses, you can actually have it hit for 7.
It's something.
Yeah,
Kind of
you're,
interesting.
you're,
It's not
you're
good, but
digging
it's just
for
an interesting
success here.
Alright. Extra damage. Turn the tide.
Let's get into who
So-
spent the most pink bunny points. Who spent
All
them?
right, for the ward, all those carrots.
Why
This player
carrots?
spent because they're bunnies.
Oh, fair enough.
They wanted all those carrots. right? So for spending 165 bunny points. So to explain a little bit how this works, every player who starts out, you finish event, your first event, you get 10 bonus points, and then every game you play is worth 1 point. Every buy is worth 1 point, and then if you get a win, that's an additional point on top of just playing the match. So wins basically mean that match counts for 2 points. And so the player who's redeemed the most points, it goes to JF as well. He's redeemed 165 points.
Yeah.
Let's pull up
What did he get? What did he
He's
get?
rolling in
He's rolling
stun
in
cards.
carrots.
Yep, stun cards.
He really wanted the Grand Championship 2020 keys, so he redeemed for those. He also picked up some of the Grand Championship Amber tokens.
He wanted some of them tiny key action. I get it. You need those. Tiny keys are the way to go, man. It's the way of the future.
He also picked up a playmat at one point.
Playmat? Jeff, what the hell are you doing, man?
You
Hey, if you want it, you want it.
I mean, shoot. you should be like, man, I need a playmat.
No judging.
Well, but there's
shipped you 4.
but there's some
Rookie,
sweet.
you'll be very surprised about the prizes people have redeemed. So we'll
I
probably
guess
cover that.
so. We'll get to that in a little bit. So, who has the most carrots that they decided not to spend?
Yeah, who's hoarding?
So
Who's hoarding the carrots?
At the end of the year, this player had 232 bunny points unspent. In fact, this player hasn't spent a single bunny point. So the hoarder of the Warren is none other than Cloggin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I don't, at one point I was wondering what you'd be saving up for, but with some of the prizes from the 2020 Grand Championship kit, I do have a few prizes that are 300 plus points. So maybe he's saving up for one of those now. But
I think he just doesn't want any more stuff.
That could be
that'd be true.
Stuff, and stuff.
All right. So the Ewok Award.
Yep, the Ewok Award.
Fellowship 2021 Fellowship Award, best award that's out there.
So Ewok, you came up with this idea. I talked to Ewok 6-8 months ago about ways to get engagement and things to do to help players. So this award is going to starting from now. Every month we'll be handing out a Fellowship Award. But Ewok, why don't you explain what this is?
So again, it really comes from my background with Mech Warrior. This is for that player who's new, that player who is coming out, but maybe they don't know their cards yet. Maybe they haven't, when I was playing Mech Warrior, I didn't have the best units, and I love the group. I love coming out. I've seen a lot of growth from this type of player. It gives someone who, frankly, they're there consistently, but they may not always be up at the top when winning. And I think that's really important that we recognize that person, because really that's who we want. If it's the same person who, hey, you come out, you win, and you walk away with the prize, it gets real defeating for anyone who's kind of in the middle to bottom and you're not willing to come back. So I really love that Fellowship Award. And it's, for us, for Mech Warrior, it was voted on by the other individuals who are there playing. And you kind of say, hey, this person's new. Great, that's who we got it to. But if it's everyone who is the same, this person's become a regular, then you go ahead and you can spread it out. But I think this is very, very, very deserving. So
my criteria for this is I call it staff pick. So it's your award, Ewok. Would you announce it?
Most definitely. The 2021 Fellowship Award, forever known now as the Ewok Award, we have the one and only Red Train. So congratulations, man. Well done.
You're such a teacher.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, he's
Congrats, Red Train.
Congrats,
He's a staple now, right? Only started playing not too long ago and comes all the time now. And
honestly, they're both the Reds are great to be able to talk to. I love being able to see Red and what he's able to do. So he's a very, very important staple to AC. So,
well, the other day, right? I probably wasn't. I don't know if it was in a Pink Bunny event. It wasn't, because it wasn't sealed. But I remember X-Ray brought, was it Donovan or something? Some outrageous deck.
Yeah, because X-Ray is an
took out
asshole.
Donovan.
He brought Donovan to
so
a freaking Archon event. Who does that? And then he lost.
Yeah.
Well, I put a bounty on his head. That's what he gets for bringing Donovan.
Yeah.
Well, again, this is now how Donovan's not going to get updated, but red automatically goes straight to the top for that. So way to go.
That was pretty amazing.
Nice.
All
and then-
right.
I don't know if you guys know there's one more award.
I'm going to say the last award for tonight. I see it there. So
Okay, so this one goes to a local player, actual in-person local. He has been showing up consistently for the last 6 months because at the same time I started this online, very shortly thereafter, the local store I work with, Pink Bunny, started allowing me to hold Monday night events. Most of the time, still it's just him and I. It's still the same entry fees, still the same prize wall, right? For those who show up, I know Ewok and Sheep have shown up occasionally, but this I'm calling the Relentless Creeper Award. It's basically the same as the Loyalist, but I wanted to name it differently. He's also a big fan of imps, he told me recently, so I figured it would only be fitting to name it after something he'd enjoy. So it goes to Corey Klatt, who's a local. He's come to most events in person. He's actually there almost every Monday night. So him and I get 3 to 4, maybe 5 games of Keyforge on Monday nights in person, which sometimes I wonder if I have more fun in person or online, but it's kudos to you, Corey, for being just as stubborn as I am and not letting this game die in our area and showing to play up in person. Always hoping for that third to show up so we can actually fire a chain-bound event or something. So,
Yay, Corey.
I try, man. I try.
But I'll say he's such a nice guy, and I always enjoy being able to play.
He came to live with us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he was at live.
All right.
So
This is where I want to go through. Be quiet, Ewok. This is what I want to go through. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off because I got all excited about this next chart. But go ahead.
Go ahead, my friend.
All right, we got stats, boys and girls. Stats, hardcore numbers that proves that I am right and Pirate's wrong.
Would you like to cover half of them and guess? So this is AC like quality content.
Yeah, like I'll totally guess. Like I'm not going to guess the numbers, but I will guess the order. I briefly looked at it. I'm scrolling away now. Okay. So this is the next is percentage, right? Like you did it as a percentage, like wins and loss.
Yeah,
You're
so
talking about the stats. Right?
So for stats, what Lokakar has actually done is he's tracked each of the sets that were open for sealed. Coda, AOA, Worlds Collide, MMDT. And obviously, we are not going ahead and talking about, wow, that's there. But he talked about how many different decks were opened, the win percentage, the wins, the losses, and the percentage. We're not going to go through all of it.
No.
But the average number of matches was 3.5. Just based on the night, somewhere at 3, somewhere at 4, and it does come out.
And I will point out, this is for sealed events, right?
Yes.
Archon can behave very differently.
Nope.
But this is for
behaves
sealed.
just the same.
And I would even further say that sealed is most similar to the casual player who plays at home or occasionally with friends, who doesn't show up to normally events, who doesn't show up to, vault tours or online things, right? I think sealed is probably more representative to your average Keyforge player experience, the average casual, than Archon or vault tours.
All right, so here's the game we're gonna play. I've scrolled away. I'm no longer looking. I'm now looking at my Facebook. So we have 5 sets, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, I am going to attempt to rank them in order of win percentage.
And I will put a small caveat that not all of these sets had the same amount of decks that were open. So that
The low was 21 decks, the high was 184.
Yes.
Okay.
As of the moment. So these are live stats. This isn't for last year. This is for last year through this month.
Okay. So I'm going to guess the set with the biggest win percentage. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. Biggest win percentage, Mass Mutation.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yay! Okay. Next best win percentage. Ugh, this is a tough one. Is it Worlds Collide?
Boo.
No. Is it Coda? It's Coda. No?
Nope.
For win percentage?
Yes.
It's not Worlds Collide or Coda?
No.
Nope.
What other set is there?
Keep going.
AOA?
Nope.
It's not Dark Tidings.
It is Dark Tidings.
No, it
Dark
is not.
Tidings
That
is
is a
Dark-
lie.
Dark Tidings as won
Yes.
49%
I'm going
of its
back.
matches.
Yeah, it's 140. You got whatever. Dark
It's
Tidings is trash.
1% of its matches.
Well, I
Dark
mean,
Tidings is
MM just takes so
garbage.
many. Everything else is below
MM wins
50%.
55% basically of its matches, which is
Mhm.
significantly higher than any other set.
Oh wow, that was really, really close. Like you got
And then you have
Worlds
Dark
Collide.
Tidings at 49, Code at 48.5, and then Worlds Collide basically at 48. And then AOA
But you had
at 40.
holy
I-
crap! You had
not-
significantly more Dark Tidings and MM opened
So
than any other set by
while
like
true,
almost double. Holy crap!
While true, it's been interesting to watch these numbers fluctuate around, and I can almost tell you when certain players started playing certain sets.
Because Coda deck, you only had 21 Coda decks open.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
That's crazy, and only 78 Worlds Collide.
Mhm.
That's bananas.
Worlds Collide is now getting kind of hard to get. I will say on a couple of these sets with lower play counts, I am guessing if you look at the stats, most of those plays are racked up into 2, 3, or 4 total players out of your total player count.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know on AOA, a lot of those were opened by those of us who had piles of Ollie's decks to keep working through.
Piles of all these decks. No, because
And-
AOA only has 46.
Yeah, because only a few people had piles of AOA decks.
Oh,
Or
And
wanted to go
I
ahead and
agree.
open
Crazy.
play AOA.
And not
You're-
to sound like an ass, but potentially the skill of the players results in how these percentages work out sometimes too. Because the players who are better at the game tend towards the better sets or more experienced, and then those of us who don't
And then-
care will
and then
play
there's
any
me.
old crappy set like
then there's
AOA.
me and Dan who like the
Mm.
pain.
Yes, and we play AOA, and
You bust me open
don't-
one of them shitty
So-
AOAs, I'll take it.
See, I'm
To your
gonna
AOA point, there has been 16 different players who have played AOA. That's about half the field have played AOA at least
yes,
once.
but how many of them played it more than once?
Oh, the multiples you're going to be going into Joker, Pirate, yourself.
Which,
Yeah.
which by the
Train
way,
for a while.
Pirate,
You're not-
Pirate
you're
loves
not
himself some
shrub
DT,
players.
but you know.
Anyways,
I
I'm
think-
just saying,
I think
there is more behind the stats than just straight raw numbers because it's not totally random on who plays what.
correct.
There is
And
more information beyond these.
I agree with that, but I will also say AOA as a whole is a lot of fun to play, but it just simply lacks amber control. And in a race game, you need to have amber control, and that's why I'll always play DT over AOA. I can
Or
handle
a ridiculous race deck like what Joker opened.
Well, sure, but I mean, when you're looking at it, AOA just lacks being able to have amber control, and unless you have that,
But you want to know what AOA has?
$2 decks.
Well, beyond that,
the
got-
trash bin.
it has Martial Generosity Key Abduction, and some of us just gave another some of us a whole bunch of decks, and inside those boxes are 0 Martian Generosity Key Abduction decks. Just
So, but I mean, that's
Hold on.
what you're looking for is 1-2 card combo. There's so much other items that we want to be looking for in
I
AOA.
want-
So here's
Martian
the thought.
generosity.
I also
Key chart.
tallied this stat, right? Not only do I have the set win percentage, but I have the set win percentage broken down by house, right? And so it's
Yeah.
like, okay, and then I have it comparing that house's record to the set overall. What would you guess then in AOA are the 2 houses that bring down the win percentage by themselves?
in
Like literally every
AOA.
other house has a positive winner percentage.
Wait,
in AOA.
in AOA, Sanctum
AOA.
and Mars.
Yeah, it's to say Mars can often be iffy.
So
I don't know.
Brobnar and Sanctum bring it down.
Brobnar.
Sanctum brings down the win percentage by 10%. Brobnar brings down the win percentage by over 8%.
Yeah, because
Huh.
I mean, technically
Well,
in AOA,
Brobnar-
there's nothing in Brobnar but Grump Buggy.
And Drummer not.
Well, and
Grangernaut.
Grangernaut,
Ring or
yeah.
not.
Or
Well, that's
rogue.
because it's sealed, we all get triple first bloods.
That's right.
And
That's
cry
right.
a little bit on the inside.
That's right.
That
So,
could be.
I
So
like
for
how
Mars,
I am.
Mars is
look-
about even with its normal win percentage. It
Oh,
only
okay.
it's got 1% higher win percent than the set overall. But Dis and Logos lead the way with boosting the set average by 6%.
Do you have this for each house?
Each
Oh.
house and each set.
So, all right. So, do we want to play another game?
Sure.
Do we want to say? Oh, I see. Okay, I got to scroll away now before I see too much. You have. I just saw you had winners and losers of each house in each set.
Mhm.
Okay, so Drazkor, you're getting Coda.
Mhm.
Who's the big? Don't look at the sheet. Look away.
Yep, I scrolled away already.
Okay. Who's the big winner in Coda? Who's the? Well, just do it. Who's the big winner in Coda? I think we already know the answer.
It's going to be. Yeah, I think Dis.
You're
I
gonna
went
be wrong. No one will guess this
Logos?
one.
Wow, for real?
In Coda, it's Brobnar.
Robner.
What?
Brobnar.
I told you this earlier. That's what shocked me. I would have gone Dis 100%, but I knew.
Remember, this is sealed.
In
Yeah,
Coda,
right.
I would have said Shadows was the big one.
But it's sealed against all sets. So
right,
fighting
it's all sets,
and some of the
so-
large amber control cards that Brobnar has, like with War Drummer and Bumpsy,
That's true.
or Burn the Stockpile and some others, means
Mhm.
Brobnar has become more viable in some ways. Not that it's
Okay.
super viable, but it is interesting that the only 3 houses that boost Coda when in average are Dis, Brobnar, and Sanctum.
Yeah.
That's crazy stat right there.
So Drazkar, who's the big loser in Coda?
Shadow
Mars.
Gotta be Mars.
It's Mars. Yeah,
I was going to
that
say
one shouldn't
the
surprise
Sanctum
people.
of Mars.
Yeah.
but-
Mars, yeah.
All right. We already kind of went through AOA. Biggest loser was Sanctum. Your biggest winner, Dis Logos. I don't think that's a surprise for anyone in AOA.
No.
Worlds collide. All right, let's go sheep. Sheep's not even in the document. All right. Sheep, Worlds collide. Who's the biggest winner in Worlds collide?
Saurian?
No.
Nope. You're missing
Star-
Eddie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Eli.
it's Logos and then Dis. Those
No,
are the
it's Logos.
It's Logos.
This is not positive.
Hmm.
If we're in Worlds Collide sealed, you do not want this.
Field, I could see that. Yeah.
Because remember, you're not picking. You're
Right,
getting
there's
the,
a lot of-
the commons. You have to think
there's a lot of
strictly about
chaff in
commons and uncommons, right? And what do those normally turn out to be?
Mm-hmm.
This
Then
one,
shouldn't surprise anybody on the weakest house in Worlds Collide.
this actually does surprise me a little bit. All right, Sheep, who's the weakest house in Worlds Collide?
Shadow still sucked in that set.
I would have
It did.
either said Shadows or Brobnar. And I
Well,
probably
no,
would have gone
Brobnar's
Brobnar.
better and sealed.
Yeah, I mean, you do get a little bit of creature control out of Brobnar, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
It's-
Shadows is bad on average. Like
Yeah,
when you
Shadows
get
is
good
very
Shadows,
bad on
Shadows is
average.
good, but just in almost most sets, like maybe AOA, like Shadows can be okay most of the time.
You could think of Shadows as twice the handicap of having Brobnar in Worlds Collide.
All right, I've shuffled away from the set, so let's see. We just did Worlds Collide, right?
Yes.
So up next is Mass Mutation.
One thing I'll point out is moving on from this point, the houses are a lot closer to each other. I don't know if that's
Because
because
you
we
have a
played
lot
more
more data.
decks, or
Yeah.
it might be because it's more decks. But
Yeah, you have you have a ton more. You have double the data, more or less.
But it
double.
narrows in MM and it arrows even further in DT, and there's just about as much DT as MM. So if they're going for balances between houses, they are getting better at it, perhaps, than they were originally.
All right,
Which-
I'm gonna have Ewok. You're gonna do MM. I'll do DT. Lokakar, you're gonna have to tell us the answers because I've
Mhm.
scrolled away, so I don't
So you
know.
want to start at the lows or the highs of MM?
Hi.
Which one you want, Ewok?
Let's go high. I actually would go ahead and go Dis, but I do believe that it's going to come out Logos. I just think the Logos can move things for.
Oh
MM.
man, I would almost say
They're
it would-
pretty close, so 3% each. So 3.5 for logo, so it just edges out Dis, but 3% boost for each of those.
And who's the low? Who's the low, Ewok?
And we're talking MM.
Mhm.
Sanctum
Yes,
can actually
MM.
do Sanctum can actually do work for MMs. Leaving that out, Dis and Logos are there. Saurian's pretty poor, but there's some individual cards.
Untamed's bad?
So the only
I'm gonna guess Shadows.
Untamed is bad. The odd piece is I honestly feel it's more Starlines when I'm just because Lokakar
okay.
said,
See that?
but Lokakar said to go ahead and think of the commons.
I was say, I think Bonithine and Red Penny make Shadows maybe feasible.
Correct, and so that's the
Yeah.
reason I
Maybe.
Just say Brobnar.
no. I think I would probably lean towards Saurian just because I don't like them, or Starlines, and I think it goes. I'll go Saurian.
You were so close. You were leading Star Alliance. Star Alliance is a negative 6%.
Oh, goodness.
If you get Star Alliance, you want logos and discs, so you come out with the average win rate for the set.
Hmm.
So Star Alliance is the only house in the set that has a less than 50% win rate.
Ooh.
Yeah, there are some.
Yeah.
Those comments just aren't.
It's those commons and uncommons, right? That's the vast majority of what your deck will have.
That
And
Crewman
people-
Yorg set, we're all stuck with 15 Crewman Yorgs.
Krubin
Well, but-
Yorg!
But I think this is.
Spellsters.
I think if we
Ooh.
still have FFG listening, I think this is Z's plea. Like, when it comes back, please put some cards, Amber Control, Creature Control, and your solid cards in that common and uncommon slot. It makes the game very interesting and more playable, and that's what we're really chasing after.
Well, it's like staples, right? In any other TCG, there's staples.
All right,
For
now
reasons.
let's let Wookie
DT?
take the stab at DT, where he has a total of 3 games in with the set.
Whoop, whoop. All right. Because it's the worst set out of all of them.
You going best
second best.
or worst?
I'll go the best.
I love DT.
I'll go the best. Man, this is actually going to cause me to think. Yeah, because I think Sheep's right. I think I probably have like 6 Dark Tidings games under my belt. Because
Do you
the
guys-
set's terrible?
Do you guys smell that?
Yeah, it's this burning coming
It's
from my
burning?
ears.
It's coming all the way over here. It sounds over.
The best in DT. Okay, so we're working with a pretty crummy pool. So the tallest pygmy. I am totally stalling for time.
Robnar!
Do you
Yeah.
know what houses are in DT?
Nope, I have not a clue what houses are in DT.
Oh, this is gonna
Okay,
get
so
bad.
I'll list
Oh,
the
so hold on,
houses for you,
whoa,
right?
hold on. I know what houses are in DT. So the very best. I'm gonna throw a total guess out there and say it's my homeboys. It's Shadows.
You are correct.
Woohoo!
Shadows.
That was I'm not even lying you. That was a complete and utter guess.
Boosting the win rate of DT by 2% is Shadows. So if you have a Shadows DT deck, you're more likely to actually have a winning record.
The Shadows Commons pool can go ahead and it can do small damage, and so creature control, which is very important in Sealed right now, and it also has a little bit of Amber Control and Impact on the Tide. So that's
Yeah,
what
you
I'm seeing with Commons for Shadows. So that actually doesn't really surprise me.
And I
Well,
already
you would
know.
think Splinter and a Mutant Cutpurse would be nice, but a little bit of targeted damage for small, low power creatures that are super annoying is more valuable than I initially had thought it was.
I already know who I'm picking for my worst. It's Unfathomable.
Nope.
It's not
Star Alliance for the second set in a row.
Star Alliance.
Closely followed
Interesting.
by Logos.
There's a lot of junk
Huh.
in DT for Star Alliance too. There's a lot of just filler. I mean, that's what it
I
feels,
feel
this
like
feels
Star
like. It
Alliance
feels
is
like
better
you
than
filler.
said
DT.
earlier about Unfathomable. Unfathomable, if you get it with its bouncing side or you get it with its exhausting side, can do really well. It's
I
only
know
when
if you get
the
like
split.
if you get when you get the split, and I feel like it's you're likely more likely to get the split than you are to get a focused Unfathomable house. And that's why I chose them, because if you get that split, it is so sometimes it's so difficult to overcome.
Yeah,
and
but
you
if you get just the right Brain Drain, which is a common, and no one's going to argue Brain Drain isn't a good card, Portal is probably one of the best tide raising cards, and that's a
Yes,
common.
it is.
So it's got some small things that actually can really jive pretty well. So who wants to take the stab? So there's only 15 Evil Twin decks, but who wants to take the stab at the vastly superior Evil Twin house?
Wait, which house is
Untamed.
better in Evil
No.
Twin? Is that the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
For Evil Twins only and Untamed.
Okay. So you're going. Sheep's going Untamed. What do you got, Jazzcore?
I think.
Not Untamed.
Is it Unfathomable?
You want
Wait,
on it-
is Sheep
I said-
or
Sheep said Untamed.
okay?
I'll leave
Uh,
my wrong answer.
Jazzcore said Unfathomable.
Yep.
I honestly have no idea. I'm going to abstain. I cannot.
No, there's no
pull-
abstaining. You are making.
Yes.
I made a guess. You got to make a guess.
I literally like Lokakar, who can't pull a gigantic creature. I think I have one Evil Twin, or Like
There's
evil
6
twins,
houses.
I just don't
pick
see.
one. Just pick one.
There's
Fine.
7.
There's,
From
I'm
what's
sorry. There's 7
there,
houses. Pick one.
I'm going with the witch Untamed because I actually know that evil twin. There you go. Untamed.
Because there's one card that's actually better than that.
Correct. That's the card that I can identify, and I will say Untamed based on that card.
Might be Shadows. But
I'm
I'm not going to change my answer.
I'm gonna say Shadows.
All right, so starting from bottom, going to the top. So the houses you don't want to pull because they're pulling you down if you have an evil twin. Worst is Unfathomable.
Nope.
Mm.
Is the worst evil twins.
Draskar is
I
out.
changed my answer to Shadows.
Next worst is Saurian.
Okay.
Or no, sorry. Next worst, I skipped over this one, is Star Alliance. Then Saurian.
Yeah,
Yep.
because you lose Triska, and
Yep.
Saurian is bad no matter how you get them.
Mm-hmm.
Shadows is the last negative house.
Oh,
So
I'm out.
4 out of the 7 houses as the evil twins pull the win rate down for evil twins. And then these 3 are the only ones giving it a positive. And DT evil twins have a better win rate, granted it's only 15 decks, than non-evil twin Dark Tidings decks.
I don't think anybody's shocked at that one.
So Sanctum and Logos are tied right now at boosting it by 9% the win rate. And the big winner is Untamed.
See,
Okay.
Untamed.
you guessed and you were right.
I got it right.
Untamed
Evil Witch of the Dawn.
decks.
But
Very
it's
good.
it's Witch of the Dawn, though, right? Like
Well,
that's what
I-
our
Evil
good.
Chelonia is really
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah, Evil
the
is
lost
pretty dope.
Okay.
So
I haven't
evil-
faced that, but
Untamed Evil Twins boost the win rate for an Evil Twin deck by 27%.
Whoa.
that's got to be a
But-
small.
But there's only been
sample set.
5
Yeah.
decks with them pulled. So
Okay,
for
yeah.
comparison, there's 10 Star Alliance decks, 7 for the rest. So the lowest is 4 for Shadows and Saurian. But it's a very small pool. Statistically, not very significant results. But it is an interesting talking point that Untamed, by far and away, seems to be... If you're going to get Evil Twin deck, you really hope you have Untamed.
So
All right.
compacts of Equidon, we want to be focused for the house and
Evil
have
twins.
some great and have some great common cards. That's what I'm
I
hearing.
like Lokakar's
Optimism?
optimism, yes, and that he has WOE and whatever the heck that is.
Equidon, yeah. Yep,
Compacts
spreadsheets
of
have been
Equidon.
ready since they announced the set. so-
COE, basically. Is
No,
what
it's
they're
Woe.
called.
Woe is us. We had Dark Tidings, and then we had
No, it's
Woe.
Winds of Exchange, but we gotta trim down compacts of Equidon.
I just call it Equidon. I mean, who
That's
calls it
too
the
much.
Saurian Republic?
I just thought they were called the
Calls it the
dinosaurs.
Grand Star Alliance.
Oh,
I mean,
Lord.
yeah, let's start doing that. Let's call it that every time now.
I shall choose the Grand Star
Star
Alliance.
Isn't Logos a longer name too?
I think at the next Vault Tour, you have to stand up and shout that every time you call Star Alliance.
Yeah,
I'm-
and then I'm calling a judge because he's wasting time.
So the other, no,
I was
no,
gonna
no
say,
judge.
speaking of end of time rules.
we have some prize wall.
Oh, you want to go through the prize wall?
Yeah, real
Okay.
quick.
All right, because
I
we,
think
It's an extra long
we
Archon's
are
Corner.
running extraordinarily longer than we normally do. So,
in
let's
case
go
you
with
have so many other Keyforge
Yeah, what
podcasts
else
to
you got
listen
to
to.
do?
So.
Okay. Anyways, prize wall. Lokakar, what's our top prize wall pickings?
All right, how do you want to rank it? Either how many points it took for someone to get the people to get, or just how many have been total redeemed.
I guess how many? What's the most redeemed thing?
So it's a funny one, but it's the Grand Championship Amber tokens.
Okay, that
They're
seems fair.
cardboard.
Are they
They're
cardboard? No,
Amber tokens. They're
are
colored
they?
differently.
Interesting.
Oh, but they're cardboard.
They're
They are
cardboard.
super cheap.
They're not
They're
even the
super cheap.
plastic
Yeah.
ones. Oh,
But
that's
they're,
a total
they're
bummer.
cheap, and think about how many have gone out.
And
actually,
for people
Amber-
collecting them,
Amber tokens on the whole have been of not yellow color have been popular. Like
Okay.
every single one that's not yellow, someone or someones have redeemed for them.
So what's the next? What's the next big? We'll do like top 5. What's the next big? What's number 2 that's most picked?
I'm gonna lump these together, but it probably shouldn't surprise anyone. It's the house pins. If you remember when
Really?
the game had the launch and discovery kits, they came with pins for each of the original 7 houses,
They sure did.
and totaling it, 23 of those across the different houses have been redeemed. Every house has been redeemed at least twice.
I guess
That's funny because I just leave them on tables at events.
But people
and then
like them.
somebody goes,
Oh,
"What are
people
these?"
like
and then
them.
throws them in. Okay, anyways, all right. What's the next number 3?
Number 3 would have to go to metal keys.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. That was like one of
Whether
my
that's
first things.
the large, super large original ones from the premium key kit that came out with the game, to the Grand Championship metal keys. In fact, those ones are already going really quick as people have gotten up to it. And those aren't cheap points. They're 70 points a piece, or 35 points a piece. So if you want a full set, that's sending you back 105 bunny points.
It's like 15 wins. Something like that. 105
Mhm.
something like that.
If you're just counting strictly one matches, that's over 50 matches.
I mean, keys are dope. That was one of the first things I ever got. I think a lot of us did. Is we all wanted metal keys, right? And then we got the metal keys from the original kits, and then when we all went to the Vault tour, all of us bought metal. I think all of us bought metal keys. Did we not?
Yeah, I got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is that once you have a set of metal keys,
You're all done.
Yeah, I mean, you get the small ones, fine. I actually really like the small metal keys.
I love my
I think
small
they're
metal
compact.
keys.
But outside of that, I don't really need another one. Another
I have
set of
a
keys.
single metal key now.
Just one?
That's it. I have one metal key.
Which color? What'd you go with?
All of them.
What color did I go with Lokar? Lokar blue?
Yeah, you picked up the blue one.
Yeah, I have one blue key,
Listen.
and I got to earn some more points.
Sheep has evolved into the next level of keyforge. He actually only has to forge one key to win.
Yeah, there you go.
That's because of all the AOAs playing.
You totally only need 2 keys for this game. Third key is pointless.
It is true. Third key is pointless. All right, that was number 3. What is number 4?
The metal damage tokens.
Okay. The old school, like the pennies, I should say the nickels.
Yeah, the ones again from when the game first came out. So there's kind of a theme. There are a lot of prizes that have been redeemed were either from the game first came out. So there's a lot of newer players who never had a chance to get those at in-person events, or they're the kits that came out after the February 2020.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then round us out on that top 5.
The yellow acrylic stun tokens.
Okay, the yellow ones? Okay. I don't know. Do I have any yellow ones? I think
no.
I do.
Those were the 2020 Store Championship kit.
Hold on. Listen, the Wookie's got some secrets. He's got a few skeletons in his closet. Okay, he finds a way to get them prizes, especially acrylic tokens. Okay,
and I'm going to tell you
to eBay.
That's right.
I will say the prize that you did not talk about, which is absolutely amazing, is
so I have to. Before you dive into it, what I'm saying here is these are the things that have been redeemed the most for that are by sheer count of the item, right? So that's one way to view it. Another high count item was the Altar Art decks. A bunch of those have been redeemed as well. Mm-hmm. So for those unaware, one card is guaranteed to be an alternate artwork, which guarantees that house in the deck, and that's how I hand them out.
And they all
Tremor
sucked.
And it's your normal sealed pool decks, and one of those all arts is Tremor from Brobnar and Worlds Collide. So not very popular, that one. In fact, only one of those, but there have been a bunch of the unnatural selection from Untamed or Not Finished With You from this. But the one that Sheep or Ewok wants to point out, which has been the most points redeemed by far and away, like 4 times as many points have been redeemed for this item, is the Fuzzy Gruen plush.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
They're amazing.
I don't understand you weird people with your damn stuffed animals.
No,
yeah, as my wife would say, it's the ugly alien baby, but people like it.
From Men in
No
Black.
way.
That's exactly what it is. It's
No
the alien
way.
baby from Men in Black. Is it Men in Black or Men in Black 2? I think it's the first one.
I will tell you that the fuzzy, like for a stuffy, it's there's a lot of stuffing in it. It sits up. My littlest, Emery, loves it. She actually started naming it. We had a little controversy at our house because she came to us, was holding it immediately, so I hadn't seen it. Called it Horny, and we decided that wasn't going to work. So it is now Fuzzy instead because of the horns that were on the Fuzzy Gruen's head. We're like, yeah, we're going to go with Fuzzy. How about Fuzzy? So,
Yeah.
but she loves it. She's made a little cage for Fuzzy, and honestly, it is one of the most amazing.
Maybe it's just me. I don't
It
get
is.
it. I don't get it.
You didn't want to go with furry?
Ooh.
I'm there with you. I'm not one for plushes, but it's popular. It definitely the week after I announced that I'd been able to get a hold of them, and I'm still able to get a hold of them. For stocking on the prize wall, I had 20 people show up to that night.
Yeah, that's
And
I don't.
my normally it's about 12
If anybody
people
wants
weekly,
to call in,
so
anybody in the audience out there, yeah, just kind of shoot me a message because I need to understand. I need to understand what the deal is. I don't understand. I mean, I get, man. Even if you got kids, like I don't understand. Like I just don't understand the appeal of the Fuzzy Gruen plushie stuffed animal. It's a stuffed animal.
plush is what they call it.
Maybe I just have
officially.
too many of them in my personal life, and I'm like, nah, I don't need another one. I'm good. I don't
You're
know.
already got 2 layers of them on top of yourself whenever you go
Right.
to sleep.
You know,
so
like I
you don't
got
need a 3rd layer.
Right. I don't need another layer. Yeah. So.
I don't know. In comparison to a mat or keys, like long after the game it has moved on, or I've moved on to a different piece, I'm gonna look back. It's bringing joy to my littlest one
Listen,
who's sick. So it's very
I play
appropriate.
Flesh and
hey,
Blood on my.
we don't speak of this 3-letter letter.
I play Flesh and Blood on my. I can't remember who it is. What was the mat for the Grand Championship? Not Niz. Not
You mean Prime or
I think it was
the
a Prime,
Grand was
yeah. The Grim
Bumblebird,
Reaper.
and I'm pretty
Grim
sure you
Reaper.
don't have a Bumblebird
Grim
map.
Reaper is what
No,
you're
I
talking
don't want a Bumblebird mat.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It was the one I wanted was the Grim Reaper, and that's where I play my FAB, right on my Grim Reaper mat. Or sometimes I go old school and I bust out the Shadows mat.
Shout out to the FFG organized play people, because when I showed up to the pop-up up there in Minneapolis this last year, they did hand me a stack of the Grim Reaper prize mats
Oh, nice.
to throw
They
on my
just
prize wall.
handed
So
you a fucking stack of the Grim Reaper prize mats.
they started by asking me, "Oh, we've brought these mats. Would you like some?" I was like, "Sure, I've got a prize wall for players." And they were like, "How many?" And I was like, "Every single one you're willing to give me." So they gave me a stack of
Nice.
quite a few of them. So
That's awesome.
What is the most popular mat
I'm throwing away my Grim
that
Reaper
you've
mat now.
given out?
The one that's sold out right away is the Lord Invidious playmat, which was the first season of 2020, and that one went quick. Both players, as soon as they had enough points, cashed in for those.
I could
Unfortunately,
also
there's a lot more in that kit to go through before I'd be able to purchase another one to restock that specific item.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, and that would be the pieces for FFG. I'd like to see some of these items a little bit more individualized. That would help. But I also understand why they're coming out as kits. I think that what's really neat is the Sin mats that are there. Again, I don't necessarily love mats, but that's one that I would go ahead and I'd be willing to turn in. Those Sin mats are they look great.
Yeah, so what Sheep's referring to is that, or Ewok, why do I keep confusing you two tonight? Geesh, must be late. Is the championship kit for 2020 Grand Championship was all Dis themed, primarily the Seven Sins themed, and so it was fortunately most people didn't get to see it, but it starts with Greed is for the sleeves. You've got Desire or Sloth and Envy on the deck box. Desire is the chain tracker, which is like for the top 8. Moving to second place, you have the Wrath for the second place, and you've got Pride for the first place player. They also used they had for the major side events, they had a single mat for one of the other sins. The top 16 would have also gotten another sin playmat. And then the coolest thing for me personally was that they finally included a judge promo. FFG for like X-Wing and other games has often included in their kits like prizes or promos for specifically the judge team. Mm-hmm. And so they included the Disambassador as the judge promo, and it is labeled as the judge mat.
That's pretty cool.
So that one is waiting for Mr. Duncan, because he has.
I'm
as
still
far as judging goes,
they
he
were
has done
just
the most
giving away Grim Reaper mats.
But I think that is still, I think even the idea, that's what Mech Warriors to do, is go ahead and have a judge promo. And I really like that because you're incentivizing the person who's giving their time to also build.
Well, every game has done that, though.
Correct.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't say every. Well, yeah, no, almost every. I mean, Magic does judge promos. Almost everyone does judge promos nowadays. Or I shouldn't even say nowadays. Forever and for always. When I used to judge for like Dragon Ball Z or Legend of the Five Rings, they always used to give us like something.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Magic, it's almost tacitly a form of payment for the judge and stuff, because they'll more or less turn around and be able to sell them since they're actual cards for play. So.
Right. All right.
That would be interesting if they gave decks for the judges.
That'd be nice. We are well over our time. End of time fixes.
Yeah.
Ewok. Well, no, I think you bring your gloves this next week. All right.
No. I will throw this one out. This is quick. This was your idea, and I think that it's.
Well, no, I didn't want to go over fixes, but okay, go ahead.
No.
Do it quickly.
I know that we had talked. We actually met after we recorded last week, and I really like the simplicity of what was there. So I'm going to throw it out to the community, and let us know as we get into how you can get a hold of us. But end of time is a sticky point for many people. I think that simply
will be discussed next week. We will go over your idea.
We have a very special guest next week, so I want to make sure. Yes. So that's where I can go ahead. So I'll tease there. So next week for our recording, we're back to our normal Thursday. So Thursday night, 8:30 Central, February 3rd. We're going to go ahead and have our own Joker for Vault Keepers. So Joker has put together an absolutely amazing event, and I guys, I want you to come out to see how that Discord group has blown up. The idea for competitive keyforge. This is his own time and energy across 3 different days, 2 different weekends, and it's going to highlight DT and MM. I think that it is phenomenal, and there's cash money that's out there for you. So if you have not already checked it out, go ahead and check out Vault Keepers and Joker. But he's going to be coming on next week, and that's what we're going to talk about.
I lost track of time. It is almost February already. I thought we were 2 weeks away.
No. And so the piece that we had talked about afterwards, because Joker is going to take the majority of it, we had an end of time fix. And the issue that I see is that games crawl to an absolute halt that I can go ahead and check. I just go ahead and quickly throw out a card so I get the last turn. And I think that's the piece that was bothering me. So I really liked your idea, Wookie, which is very simple. And that is here. Game ends when time is called. Play stops immediately. Your opponent gets a chance to forge at current cost. That's it. You are stopping. We're not playing anymore. And with what we saw at Keyforge Live and in other areas where the timer is not, posted for everyone to be able to see, the judge will let you know that here's where the time is and here's how much time we have left. But frankly, after it's that 10-minute piece, you should be focused on your game, not counting down. Here's 30 seconds until I can go ahead and check.
All right.
So I like that idea. Game ends, play stops immediately. Send your comments, and we can throw in a little section and talk next time. But primarily,
you know what? Tell you what, we'll talk it. Well, primarily Vault Keepers, but maybe we'll get into it next week. I don't know how much Joker's got to go over. I don't really have a rubric for him, but I mean, maybe we can get into it. I think. Definitely this is another conversation that it just still needs to have. I still think the best way to solve time, tie. Play stops. There's no declared winner. Tie. You are 1-0-1 or 2-0-1 or 1-1-1. Either way. But Vault Keepers next week with Joker, I should say, if you're probably listening to this the morning before we record. So Vault Keepers, quote unquote, this week, because this will hopefully go up. I'm posting them now. I had another slip up with Spreaker this week because I posted on Wednesday to go live on Thursday, but it didn't go live till Friday morning again. So I'm just going to get it to upload on Thursday morning, and then before I go to work, I will just hit publish. I don't know what's going on. Again, I don't know what's going on with Spreaker. They're having a meltdown, maybe. I have no idea. I don't know if it's even necessarily Spreaker, because it goes live on Spreaker as soon. Like, if I publish it for 10 a.m. Thursday morning, it publishes to Spreaker 10 a.m. Thursday morning, but then it struggles to go to the other podcasting platforms. So I don't know if that's necessarily a Spreaker problem or an other podcast platform problem. Not 100% sure there. At this point in time, you guys can get a hold of us over at Twitter at Archons Corner. We do have the Facebook, Archons Corner. Check us out on YouTube. More to come on. Hopefully, maybe we can, maybe myself, Ewok, Mr. Sheep, and Lokacar can all get together for some fun. Maybe figure out some multiplayer rules. I think Keyforge is missing multiplayer. We could talk about that another time. And then Ewok, you want to go through the last little bit?
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Lokacar, for coming out. I know the episode went long today, but you are doing to keep all of the data that you have, to be present on the Wednesdays, and then to be able to build the community that you have for Pink Bunny Games, supporting a local store, but also just allowing people to play and have fun with Keyforge. Thank you. The extra little tokens that are going out, they're amazing, and you deserve all the credit there. Please come check us out next week for Joker and Vault Keepers, that talk. And then we're coming up upon our anniversary, if you can believe that, in March. And I want to do something special. So the community is really where I like to spend time, be able to talk, share stories. And that's what I want this to be. So I want you guys to send in your Keyforge stories. These are your funny stories from Keyforge, your horrible, like, oh my goodness, did I do that? Or did this happen to me at an event? That can be online, that can be in real life, that can be a big event, a small, chain bound. It can be sitting across the table from someone. But I want to be able to go ahead and share out those stories and have some fun. And we'll try and protect people so that we're not calling anyone out, but just be able to reminisce and look back. And we're going to have some fun with how we're going to do that episode. So stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. And as far as everything goes, we normally go through final thoughts, so we will do the same here. We'll start with our guest, Lokacar. Any final thoughts for the community this week?
I would say my thought is just enjoy the game, have fun playing. I appreciate everyone who comes out of the pool of people who were eligible, so came more than 10 times. Of 17 players, only 3 of them actually didn't win an award tonight. But to Raider, Verindy, and X-Ray, I appreciate you guys coming and playing. Just as Sheep would say, draw better or pull better next time.
All right, what you got, Drazcar?
I just want to say thank you, Lokacar, for running the events, putting everything together, tracking all this information. You know, I counted. I made it 7 times last year, so Wednesdays aren't the perfect night for me. But so I didn't quite make the cuts for the stats. But I'm thinking to myself, I got to find more ways to make it happen, because it's a pretty awesome event you're running, and I got to get me some more prizes. So thank you.
Ewok?
I would go ahead and concur with you on that one, Draskor. I wish I could be out there, but Lokacar, keep it up. AC, locals, regulars, thank you guys for being able to make this game great. Even if I can duck in on a night where I get the kids down, or I'm dealing with sports or something else, or grading, it is always, it makes me smile. It brings a smile to my face to play a game, to be able to just stop by and hear how you guys are doing and what's happening. So keep playing Keyforge, keep having fun, and I look forward to seeing next year's awards and who's pulling what. But have some fun playing Keyforge, whether that's sealed or Archon or whatever you're doing.
All right, guys, we went super long this week. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to do this. It's going to be posted up as soon as I can. Make sure you come back next week for one Mr. Joker. And we'll see you all next week.
Happy Fortune, everyone.
Let's go.